Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about The Last Holiday by Queen Latifah. Now, her name in the movie is Georgia Bird, and she's this young woman who works in bookworks of a shopping center, a department store, and she's really good at what she does, but there's something missing in her life. Now, this is her kitchen. She's really interested in cooking, and she also has a neighbor, a young lad, and his granddad, and she always, whatever she's making, she shares with them. So if it's like a roast chicken that she's found a new recipe for, she's going to take some herself and share it with her old friend and his granddad. She also has a possibilities book. So this book that this man is looking through is private, but he's still looking through it. And it's all the things she likes to do. So things that, the things that places she likes to go. And also she has a bit of a crush on her co-worker in the department store called Sean. He's in barbecues, but she's too modest to say anything. Although there is a level of flirtation in the dynamics, but neither of them has the will or the courage to come and confess any feelings. So she has cut out his face and her face and put them together in a wedding photo. She's put off by this little boy taking her stuff and going through her private stuff. But anyway, now this is her friend Raquel, and they both work in this shopping center in the department store. And I don't know what Raquel sells, probably like Christmas stuff. Georgia is in Cookworks. Now she wears this very ugly brown sweater cardigan, and she does a really excellent job with hiding her beauty. Now this is in the background is the guy called Sean, who she really fancies, but little known by her. He also fancies her, but they're both very modest. Now what else do we have here? In order to make some contact with Sean, she always goes and buys a barbecue from him, and she gets this little boy next door to help her bring in the barbecue, but she never has a barbecue party, and she doesn't have a back garden either. And she's a very caring and giving person. She cooks for all these old people who are probably very hungry as well. And her boss says, "Why are you feeding the moochers? Like, we don't have money to spend like this." He's quite a stern person. Oh, okay. Now that Sean comes to her counter in the Cookworks and has some of the food that she's cooked, I personally would, by the way he's looking at her, it's quite clear that he's interested, but she's definitely interested. But yes, and she bumps her head on the cabinet. She's taken to the local doctor. Accidents at work, so the employee is responsible. And they do a CT scan from her brain. And unfortunately, she's diagnosed with a rare condition called Lampington disease. Now, they tell her that she only has 2 weeks, but not more to live, because this is a desperate place for her. Now, she goes through her possibilities books and crack opens a bottle of wine and cries over all the things she wanted to do in the places she wanted to go. And unfortunately, this is not possible. One of the places she really liked to go was Karlovy Vary in Czech Republic to meet a celebrity chef called Didier, Monsieur Didier. And that wasn't possible, of course. Now, all of this is lost, unfortunately. Now, she goes to confide in her employer, but he's on the phone the whole time, and she's trying to tell him that I have a few weeks to live. But he doesn't want to get off the phone, and she says, "Why am I wasting my life here?" And she quits. Now, on the way out, she bumps into Sean, and Sean wants to invite her out for a baseball game, I think, and she can't go. So, of course, now that he's showing interest, now it's too late because she only has a few weeks to live. Now, before she leaves, actually, she sold all her bonds. So she sells all her bonds and liquidates her assets. And also she upgrades from economy to first class, and she sees the difference, like the serving roast turkey and the best quality food. She has a cocoon, as it were, a very large seats, the best comfort. When she gets to Karlovy Vary, the road to this hotel, which is Hotel Grand Poop, is closed because of the heavy snow the day before. And instead she gets a helicopter. Now, when she gets there, people notice that someone arrived in a helicopter, and one of the concierges says the last time anyone got here in a helicopter was Sir Elton John. Now, her room isn't ready. She gets a presidential suite. So all along she's giving this impression to everyone that she's mighty rich. And also she just told the server there that she's from Louisiana, and he says, that's your senator there. From Louisiana. Now, not known to this server there that she says that, that's why he didn't make her meeting the other day. Now, he thinks that is some very important meeting that she had with the senator because she's so rich. And all she means really is this meeting he was meant to have at the local church, and he didn't attend. But not knowingly, she's giving this impression that she's a very wealthy, important person. She loves her room, beautiful presidential suite. She gives the person a lot of money as tip. She goes to the local boutique and tells them to make her presidential. She tries on all these different outfits. And then she comes to dinner, and she knows this chef Didier who is going to cook. Well, he's the chef at the restaurant, so she orders every single dish on the menu, because apparently he doesn't create the same menu every night. Every night is going to be different, and the chef is very impressed. Who is this woman who's ordered everything I've asked for? Now, she also notices that the boss of her boss, really, so Matthew Cragen, the owner of the department store that she works in, is there. And she knows him, but he doesn't know her. Now, what else do we have? Now, Georgie is commanding a lot of attention because she's ordered so many different dishes just for one person. And this Matthew Cragen table consisting of the senator of Louisiana. We have a congressman as well, the people who are getting funded by Matthew Cragen. Matthew Cragen owns this department store, and he funds the Congress people and also the senator to do certain favors for him. Of course, it's not for free. And they're here on holiday, a business trip. And now she commands a lot of attention, and they also notice her, but they don't know who she is. It seems that she knows them, but they don't know her. They even asked the senator of Louisiana if he knows her, because someone had said that she had a very important meeting with them last week that he didn't attend, and he doesn't know. Now, she wants to test out every possibility in this resort. So she wants to go skiing. She's getting some lessons from a tutor, an instructor. And lo and behold, she loses control of her skis and speeds up. She speeds up and takes everyone over, especially this Matthew Cragen, who's steadfast in now catching up with her, and she lands on a table. Now she races through the entire ski pitch and lands on a table and knocks over so many people, including Matthew. And then Matthew says to her, "You keep skiing like that, you're going to spend the next 2 years in court." And because she doesn't have 2 years, she says, "That's okay with me, babe." And she appears on the cover of a ski magazine because she starts from not knowing what to do to doing one of the most amazing skis in that area, taking everyone over with the professional skis and stuff and landing on the table. Also, she's using every possibility at a hotel to, for instance, all the possible spas, treatments and stuff. And she here bumps into Miss Burns. Now, Miss Burns is having an affair with Matthew Craigan. Matthew Craigan, the head of the department store at which Georgie is working. And it's very clear that these two are having an affair. He's a married man and she is supposedly on a business trip with her. Exactly what is happening. And she even makes a comment at Brigitte, who's the masseuse, that you're hurting me, and she's really rude to her. And Giorgio turns around and said, well, she's just trying to work out the knot you have in your neck from what you were doing with a married man, and she doesn't take it out on Brigitte. She's just trying to help. And then she tells her about how awful her life is. She left university, she didn't finish her degree, and she's having an affair. Matthew Craigan said that he would leave his wife, and Giorgio says he's not going to leave his wife. These are greedy people, they want everything, you need to leave him. And the next night she shows up at the restaurant again. There is a booking made for her. Now, a senator from Louisiana does come up to chat with her and says come to our table, but apparently she has a special table booked by Chef Didier. So they come to her table. Everyone is at her table. Matthew Craigan didn't want to join because he had a table, but then when he realized that everyone was there, he had to join. He doesn't like Georgia. And everyone tries to figure out who she is because she knows everyone, but no one knows her. Like, of course, she knows the boss of her boss, or the head of the company at which she works, but he, of course, doesn't know every employee, does he? Or that she knew the senator of Louisiana, the guy who's used to be in Breaking Bad as Gustavo Fring. You ask her, how are you so rich? Like, I want to understand how you operate the market. And she says, I sold all my bonds. Now, they're thinking she had a very large number of bonds, but she's just referring to the savings she had and the bonds she sold to come on this trip. They all decide to go on this dam jumping. Now, first the Craigan group wanted to go to a glass factory, but then they all decide to go with Georgia to this dam jumping experience. She does the jumping, and Matthew, because he's so competitive, wants to do it as well, but then he chickens out. It is quite a scary experience. And the news gets back to the staff of the hotel that Georgie is a true existentialist and she lives on the edge, and she comes here in a helicopter and she does that amazing skiing experience and jumps off a dam. Now, there is a floor valet called Gunther. She is a very good character to be a detective. And Matthew gives her a $100 note to spy and get some information on who this Georgia Bird is. This group also go to the casino. Again, wonders made by Georgia. She bets on the number 17 3 times and wins a ton of money, about $100,000. And again, she's the talk of the town. Her luck, she says, has suddenly changed now that she's dying. And meanwhile, while she's at the casino, Gunther goes through her stuff and finds a note she left that, I'm going to die and I've lived my life in a box. I don't want to be buried and wants to scatter my ashes in such and such place. And of course, she gives her a big hug. Now she realizes that there's a human being behind all this. Now, because Gunther has such a big mouth, she's told everyone, all the staff, including Chef Didier. Now, they make this huge banquet, and Georgia, who really likes cooking, goes into the kitchen to help Didier, and they make this fascinating feast. And she dresses up at her best because, of course, she's bought all the most fashionable outfits. Now that Matthew Cragen knows about her past, he wants to disgrace her at the dinner table. And he says, for a whole week, we've been puzzled by this lady and she's been very critical about her. So I want to tell you who she is. She works in my company at Cookworks and her salary is $29,000 a year. And no one believes it at first, but they are quite shocked. Like initially he thought that she's from a watchdog or from a competitor. Things, checkmate, I have exposed you, I have destroyed you at the dinner table. Now just wait for the comeback. She says, yes, that's true, that's my salary, but the truth is that I am dying. I have a few weeks to live and I sold everything I had to come on the strip. I never thought in a million years I could come to somewhere like this and do such incredible things, to ski and stay at this incredible hotel and to go dam jumping. Is something that I've never experienced before, and never did I think I could do something like this. And she, with the truth, definitely turns the tables and makes Matthew Cragen feel like shit. And so much that the congressman and his friend, the senator, tell him that he's an asshole, and also Miss Byrne leaves him. Now the next thing is that he climbs up to the windowsill and the ledge of his residence and hangs out the ledge, and then Giorgio goes there to have a pep talk with him of the wrong choices he made during his life, and to take his pasty face off the magazine that he publishes every month. His own face is on there, and the staff were just sick to death of him. So she tells it like it is, as usual. It's very forthright. We get Sean here at the ledge as well. He has traveled all the way from America, and it took a little bit of a detective work for him to find where Giorgio was, and he wants to be here to tell her that he has feelings for her as well. Then Gunther suddenly comes up, and of course she's the BBC of this hotel, and apparently a fax has come through from Dr. Gupta at the hospital that Giorgio is okay, the machine had malfunctioned, and there's no Lampington disease. These two, of course, get married, and they open a bistro restaurant, and they are the talk of town. Even the mayor shows up, and Chef Didier is there, and they live happily ever after. I hope you like it.